Well, praise the Lord, hallelujah, and thank you, Jesus. Well, it's about that time for one of my most favorite shows, none other than God in Everything, with Rosalyn, Atkinson, and Gail Matthew. How you doing, Roz?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. Welcome, everyone, to today's edition of God in Everything. I missed y'all last week. I had the very prominent... she was my sister, anointed,
absolutely,
gracious gift in the intercessor of Miriam Knox was here in my stead last week, and I thank God for her. And her and Pastor Gail did a wonderful job. But I'm back, y'all. I was here. And I welcome you to today's edition of God and Everything, where we talk about, you know it, you guessed it, God and everything. And I don't do it by myself, y'all. I could if I would, but I can't, so I ain't. I do it every week with my Roly, my home girl, my pastor friend, my comrade, Pastor Gail Matthews. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, it's all right. It's winter.
Yeah, it is. And it's your birthday.
It's
Look, you ain't bring the sunshine, you brought the snow.
I brought the snow.
You brought
girl.
the snow, baby. You brought the snow. Yeah.
Cool.
It's the cool in me. Right. Yeah. Little baby face.
Right. See, that's it. That dropped my speed, too. That's it.
Yeah, so we say happy birthday to you.
Thank
and
you
we
so
pray
much.
God's continued blessing on your life and that he will bless you with many more years to come.
Thank you.
Your best years are yet ahead of you. Ain't that so?
I believe
you know, you just getting in your stride now. You know what I'm saying? You just getting your momentum now. Yes, sir.
I believe that. I really do believe that.
Yeah. Because it is definitely a fact. And so, we thank you for joining us today. And y'all know how we do it every week. We got a few hot topics, and then we're going to go right into our subject matter for today. And I'm going to ask that you share today's live. I'm going to ask that you invite your very own friends. You can even invite your foes. Invite everyone you know and tell them that God and Everything is on the air. Start your very own watch party. Tell folk to come on over and see what God has to say through this vehicle that is called God and Everything. Well, today, one of our hot topics, or I should say our first hot topic is the President of the United States was acquitted what was it? Why is it not coming to me? Obstruction. And so he was off the hook. And like I posted last week, acquittal doesn't mean innocence. It means that the prosecutor did not have enough evidence to bring forth a conviction. That's all it means. That I post a picture of OJ, the Anthony woman that killed her baby. All of them people was acquitted. But that Zimmerman, that doesn't mean that they were innocent. And so that's what that means. But I want to admonish us and everybody that's listening that prays to pray for our government, to pray for our leaders, to pray for the president and all of those that are in authority, because that is what the Bible commands us. The Bible didn't say we had to agree with everybody, but it did tell us to pray for everybody that is in authority. So I don't agree with everybody that's in authority. Everybody, because folk do stuff. But look, this is what we got to understand. People have agendas, and everybody that's in authority does not have the people's best interests at heart. That's in the church and that's in the world. People want platforms, and people say anything as long as that camera is running. As soon as that camera is off, and mic check is over with, folk go back to their real, and that's just the truth of the matter. So it is our responsibility as believers to make sure that we maintain a consistent lifestyle of prayer. Okay, so that's our first topic. The second topic is they laid Kobe Bryant and his daughter to rest in a private ceremony. When I wasn't here, Gail King had an interview with Lisa Leslie, and she pressed the issue of Kobe Bryant's rape charges. And I think what people really got upset about is when Lisa did a phenomenal job, expressing Kobe was not that type of guy. She had NBA players that was, and all of that. And, when Gail said he was your friend, you wouldn't see it. That's where the stinger was. She should have said to her, okay. People said that they didn't think that it was the right time to bring that up.
Right.
But that is a part of his legacy. It just is, in terms of the Bible, David murdered a man for a woman, but yet he was king and slew Goliath and cut off his head. That's a part of his legacy. You got to have the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? So when is a right time to bring it up? But one of the things that Leslie said that I thought, Lisa Leslie said, which I thought was just outstanding, she said you all had a time when he was alive to ask him these questions and nobody did.
Right.
And so why bring it up now? I'm with her with that. If you didn't question a man while he was alive to defend himself, stop questioning the people that's around him about what was dropped. It wasn't that he was acquitted. That was not it. It wasn't that he had a trial and was found innocent. That wasn't it. The charges were dropped. They did not have enough evidence to pursue, so they had to drop the charges. I don't care what nobody think about that.
Right.
I don't care if you think he was guilty. What does that have anything to do with the cost of bread in the city of Cleveland? Nothing. Because the charges were dropped, they were dropped, period. And from that point on, you never, ever, ever heard anything negative or derogatory against the man in terms of women.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a legacy. He wasn't a Bill Cosby. Every 23 women you could find 2. He wasn't Weinstein. Every other woman you could find 4. He wasn't the president of the United States. Hello. You got a slew of women that said that you did something to them that was crossing the line. You know, you got 4. Well, nobody, you ain't have 4 women bring you up on rape charges. It wasn't habitual. Hello.
Yes.
So we got to give them that. So my issue was Snoop Dogg. I ain't never been a Snoop Dogg friend, never will be. And the things that he said about Gail King were absolutely out of line.
Too much.
You can voice your opinion. You can, because we all can. Everybody have one. And for real, what does that mean? But when he started defaming her, and when he started speaking derogatory to her and calling her out of her name, everybody should have been upset about that. My husband told me that I just kind of bullied in a conversation with these 2 men, that they weren't talking to me. They were playing cards at the Y, and actually it was 2 men and 2 women, and they were talking about the situation. And they gonna sit up there and say, that's the way Snoop talk. He a rapper. I said, and what does that mean?
Exactly.
Y'all all right with that?
Exactly.
That you shouldn't have been. I don't care if you are right. That is the problem. He is talking down on women, rapping about it. I don't care who you are, rapping about it, singing about it, writing about it. When you are talking down on women and putting women down, putting black women down and all of that, you are wrong. And I said to them, why men aren't standing up for us?
Right.
So, they got a little upset about it. I don't care nothing about that, because I'm going to say it. Why you didn't come to her defense?
Exactly.
Man, have your opinion. Be upset, because I am. But don't bash her. Right. Don't speak, illicit things about her. Don't do that.
Exactly.
That's what's wrong.
Exactly.
And so today I read where he had a conversation, and they definitely put, the article said, his Holy Ghost filled mother, and after speaking with her, he apologized. Well, I want to know what a Holy Ghost filled mother at when he has got all these B's and H's and all this stuff in his music. You ain't saying nothing. He talking about all us, including you. Right. See, I am that one. I am that one. We gonna do it right across the board. Just like they went after Gail, you went after R. Kelly and rightfully so. Right. And now it's Kobe, and it was Oprah with Michael Jackson, who is dead.
Yes.
And then it was supposed to be a documentary about Russell Simmons that she took her hands off of and stepped away from and all of that. And they were saying, well, if you doing all that, why you not doing anything about all of these Caucasian men that were your friends that we see you in pictures with? If we listen, if we go interview and talk about Michael, then we got to talk about Weinstein. Ain't that his name? Weinstein, him. We got to talk about, and then the guy that his last name is Rose. His first name is not coming to me. He was an anchor on the show that Gail is on. Why we not talking about him? Why we not talking about the man that was on Channel 3, Today Show? What's his name? We ain't heard nothing about him. He had a list of women. Yes. I can't think his name either. If we go interview everybody.
Right.
See, y'all already know I have a problem with it's not equal.
When it's not equal.
When it's not just.
That's right.
I'm not saying that them men should not be questioned. I'm not saying that those men should not be held, to a standard and feet shouldn't be put on the fire. But I'm saying let's do everybody. If you gonna do one, let's do everyone. That's all I'm saying. And so we had that. And so now, he has apologized and everything. And because his Holy Ghost filled mother said that he should apologize, so he did. But his music is still all kind of evil. And is anybody saying anything about that? See, I would be the mother that, if he was my son, I would be the mother saying something to him all the time and saying something about it on social media about it with his picture. So you wouldn't just hear my voice when it's coming against a celebrity. You would hear my voice because this is the music that you are recording, and you're talking about me when you're talking about a female.
Exactly.
Because that's who I am. I'm a female.
Too.
You're talking about me.
Or I'd walk in the studio one day and probably snatch
you. You understand? That's just who I am. So that's that with that. And then we had one more. I can't remember what it is. With the oh, Lord.
Yes.
Y'all seen the video of the woman whose children's father returned the children, and he had the little girl's hair done. It was so cute. And she looked to be about 2 or 3, actually. Mm-hmm. And the mother said, you don't get her hair done, and took scissors and cut the baby's beads out and her braids out her hair. First of all, I'm like, okay, you don't know where her hair ends and where the braided hair begins. That's number 1. Number 2, the baby is crying and you're cutting the baby's hair. Listen, you are not that upset about no baby hair and no beads in no baby's hair. You are not that upset. You're upset because that man don't fool with you no more.
Exactly.
Oh, see, y'all don't want to keep it real. That's what you upset about. And perhaps his girlfriend did the hair or had the hair done. Listen, I just don't even know what to say. We have to do better as people. Listen, if you are a mother and you don't put your children first, don't have no more kids. Right. Just don't. Being a parent, you have to be selfless. You have to be selfless. I say it all the time. Selfish people should not have children, and selfish people should not get married. Yes. Because you have to be selfless when it comes to the kid. Yeah. You could have been mad and upset and everything, but you don't take no scissors and cut that baby hair.
Exactly.
You let that baby wear that hair until that hair is over with, and you have a civil conversation with the father. Yes. And say, listen, I don't want anybody doing her hair anymore. When I send her to you, her hair is gonna be done.
Yes.
I am sure that the baby, when the baby showed up with the daddy, that the hair wasn't done. That's why he got it done.
Exactly.
Because if the child's hair is done, only somebody that's ignorant is going to take all that hair down and get it redone. Even if you took the child to your girlfriend or your mama or your cousin, they're going to say, well, her hair already done. What are you talking about?
Right, exactly.
We're not getting ready. You know what I'm saying? Somebody
the girlfriend probably cared more about it than the mother.
Okay.
Probably said, you sitting over here looking terrible. And
he should have did a before and after picture. I guarantee you that baby hair wasn't done when the baby arrived. Yeah. I guarantee it. Yeah. But to cut the child's hair off and the child is crying and the father says in that clip, you are not hurting me. You're hurting the baby.
That's right. That's right.
Please understand, y'all trying to get back at men because they done moved on without you, but they want to be a part of their child's life. Let them. Get over it. Get past it. Get around it. Get through it. I don't care what you got to do. But get over it for the betterment and the welfare of your child.
Yes.
If folk ain't abusing your babies and all, let them be a part of your child's life. You know how it feels to not have a father.
Yes.
If you ain't had no daddy, you know how that feels.
Exactly.
Stop taking that away from your child. Stop doing that. And we doing it because they don't want to fool with you no more. They don't want you no more. But here's my thing. Why would you even want somebody that don't want you? Right. Go ahead, Pastor Gail.
Because it's holes in people's soul.
Oh. Say that again for the people in the back that did not hear it.
There's holes in people's soul, and they got hurts and all of this, and they lash. What they say, hurt people.
Yes.
But now, do you want to hear from the mother's board?
Mother's board, come on, mother's board.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound real crazy. This is why I'm an advocate for responsible fornicating. Somebody gonna say, Gail Matthews,
I was not ready for mother.
No.
But go ahead, do some splaining. Mother got to do some splaining, y'all.
This is irresponsible fornicating, and it's the fruit of it. Okay? First of all, I understand because of the culture we live in, the culture I live in. I'm going to tell you, if you want to start naming names, I was a bastard child. My mother and my father were not married. Mm-hmm. Okay, I say that proudly because I come out all right. Okay, if you don't like it, you're too bad. Anyway, but here's the thing. It was problems. There was tension. My mama didn't like his girlfriends. His girlfriends was trying to one-up my mother. His girlfriends gave me diamond rings and bought stuff for me and all of this, trying to keep my daddy. It was a mess. And it was because nobody was in a committed relationship. People was sleeping with one another because they was trying to get one another, trying to secure one another, trying to make a 10 out of 3 cents. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make a dime out of 3 cents, trying to make a relationship where there was none. And these people jumping in the bed with one another. And what happens when two people get together in the biological way, then something biological gonna happen, and it is a child, and a child has to be raised and formed and all. And people are having children that don't even know what it takes to be a whole person themselves. And so now we've got these children that are growing up damaged because one, you're mad with the person who impregnated you, or you're mad because you impregnated somebody. And then now you in this boxing ring, and you know it's gonna be a casualty, because in the boxing ring is little Shaquana and little little Boo Boo and everything, and they're in there and they're getting beat up by your blows, and that's what has happened to this baby. Yep. This baby's getting beat up by your blows because they were not responsible in their cohabitation and in their fornication. In other words, do what the Bible say. Now somebody will say, well, that's easy for you. These people wasn't saved. I understand that. But even people that ain't saved have standards. Yeah. And these girls be sitting up here sleeping with these guys. Now, why am I doing that? Sleeping with these guys, and you know they sleep with 4 other girls. Or you sleeping with 4 guys. That's why we got shows like Paternity Court. Mm-hmm. And they on there, I'm sure. Then when I hear you know, I'm getting ready or something, you know, my husband got that show on, and I'm here, I know I'm 100% sure. Then they come out, well, I slept with him and my ex and his cousin on the same day. What are you doing?
Right.
And now we got this baby who is confused. Some of that DNA, I think, is getting mixed up in there. All this, we got a mess. So this is what we need to do. We need to go back to the root cause, first root source. You know, some of it we can't go back. It's too late. But the issue happened when that girl started sleeping with that boy. Yeah. Just like she sleeping with that boy, and he might have been with this other girl who did the hair in the first place. Sometimes folks are sleeping with stuff and you know they married, sleeping with people. So listen, this is a show talking about relevant topics with a Bible-based truth. The Bible say flee fornication.
Come on here.
If you with somebody and they turning you, they just make you just go in a daze, then you need to take a breather so you can think responsibly, so you can act responsibly, so you can keep your testimony. The end.
Like I said earlier, and I say it all the time, selfish people should not have children.
Absolutely.
And they should not get married.
Absolutely.
Simple as that. Because in a marital relationship, and we're turning the tide here, in a marital relationship, it has to be a selfless one.
Yes.
Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, the day that has been set aside to honor love and relationships.
Yes.
Okay? And I talked to a man the other day, and he was like, I don't celebrate that. That man-made holiday. Well, the 4th of July is a man-made holiday. Flag Day is a man-made holiday. Labor Day is a man-made holiday. And I said, if you are the type of person that expresses love every day, why do you have a problem with the 14th of February? If you in love with somebody, it don't matter if it's the 14th of February or it's the 26th of December or it's the 12th of May. I love you every day. Yeah. So because I take care of you and because I give to you and I honor you every day, I'm going to do the same thing on the 14th of February because that's my regular. That is what I do. That is what I do on a regular basis. That is who I am. And so in relationships, a specified day, why does that bother people? I don't understand that.
Because they don't want to do none of the other days.
Okay.
And love is not, love is sacrificial. Love is giving. Love, it makes you want to go another mile. The thing about love is that it can be masqueraded. It can masquerade. You can like if you got a glass and you can see through it, you know when it's half full.
Right.
But love is something that exists in an opaque glass. You never know really what's in there. Only way you know is how much is poured out.
Yep.
That's the only way. And when people really have an unlimited supply of love for you, they will keep emptying out, keep emptying out, keep emptying out.
Right.
But if they don't have, it ain't nothing in there, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
There you go. There you go. And here's the thing. I just told somebody the other day, I said, let me tell you what you cannot do. You cannot love enough for two people. I don't care how much you love somebody. You cannot love enough for you and them.
Absolutely.
Love is never supposed to be one-sided.
Absolutely.
Never. God so loved the world that he gave. He showed us what love is all about. He loved us, and then what did he do? He expressed it.
Absolutely.
Just saying it was wonderful.
Yes.
But if he never sent Jesus to die for us, saying it what that was going to do for us, we still would be on our way to hell.
On our way.
And so, in that while we were sinners, he sent Christ to die for the ungodly because he loved us.
Yes.
Even when we didn't love him.
Yes.
And so God shows us how love is supposed to look and what we are supposed to mimic. And you see in relationships, people just love just one way. It's just one-sided. The man is doing everything and then some. He is picking up the kids. He is washing the dishes. He is folding the clothes. He is cooking her food. He is bringing her flowers. He is rubbing her feet. He is doing all these things, and he gets nothing in return.
Yeah.
And we see that vice versa.
Yes.
We see it every day, and then we wonder why the rate of divorce in the church is as equal to as it is in the world. Yes. And we got to love. See, I don't know how you love God and don't love me.
Yeah.
The Bible says you can't.
Ooh, you say this all the time.
Oh, you can't. I don't understand that.
You say
how do you say you love God and you do not love me? Yes. Who you stood before God and promised to love, honor, and cherish to death. But you don't do none of those things. And then when I'm just using me in that term, expressing it, when I say I can't take it no more, then something wrong with me. Then all the churches saying, well, you supposed to hang on in there. You supposed to, well, have you hung on in? You ain't hung on in here. You haven't lived this life. You haven't walked this journey.
Right.
You haven't been in this environment to witness and to see, how devastating my life has been.
Yes.
And I've tried everything, but you can't love enough for two people. Yeah. Everybody want to be loved. This ain't love ain't new.
Yeah.
Look, God is so awesome. He looked at Adam and said, it's not good for you to be by yourself. You need a partner. You need a companion.
Yes.
You need a helper. You need somebody to walk together in life. I had the opportunity standing in the post office, and this older gentleman began to talk to me. I just had that face, and folks just started talking to me, and they really don't know what they go get. God, I know God did that.
They knew, honey.
Because I tell you, young and old just, come up with conversations with me, and I be like, all my life it's just been like that. And he started talking to me, and he was telling me where he lived, and that his house was already paid for and everything, and that his friends was telling him he should sell his house and move out. And I was in the inner city, and he should move out into the suburb and everything, and he got a good pension and all of that. And he says to me, the one thing that I regret in my life is that I should have got married. He said, I got married young. I only was married for 15 months. He said, my mama told me don't marry her. He said, and I shouldn't have. My mama was right. He said, and then I never found somebody to get married to. He said, and now I'm growing old by myself. He said, and I really wish, in hindsight is always 20/20.
Yes.
When I look back over, I should have married and had companionship. And I told him, I said, you're absolutely right, because God never meant for anybody to be by themselves.
Absolutely.
And it's a wonderful thing to be with somebody that you love and love you.
Yes.
And we're not saying that relationships, they say marriage is made in
heaven.
Made in heaven. But I tell people you gotta walk it out on the earth.
Yes. And I say sometimes, somebody used to tell me, I said, oh, y'all got a marriage made in heaven. I said, but we went to hell to get it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And you gotta walk it out. And it's all about compromise.
Absolutely.
It really is. Compromise has to be at the center of your relationship.
Yes.
I gotta compromise. It cannot always be my way.
Yeah.
It cannot always, everything can't go the way I want it to go. I have to give in.
Yes.
I have to submit. I have to lay down my will and my right to be right.
Yes. That's what that you said, that word compromise. It always make me think about it's a co-promise.
Yes.
That's the thing. It takes two people to live out that promise. I heard a lady talk about ceremonies. I hear especially believers talking about we going down to the justice of the peace. You don't need to be going to no justice of the peace if you are a believer. You need to go somewhere and start out with God's blessings on you, with a room full of people who, 35% of them say they're going to pray for you and they really support you. You need to be under the blessings and auspices of God. Because this and you need to keep that, you need that ceremony to bring you back to the riches of that promise. That's why I don't like dumb stuff at wedding ceremonies. I like stuff that mean things.
Come on.
Because you are promising your life. Marriage could cost you your soul. It could cost you your life in Christ. Somebody may not agree with, but it's the truth. It's people that have done things. It's people committed murder.
Yeah.
It's people that more than that, they have murdered other folks.
Yeah.
Character assassination, cause people to lose their mind, cause people to lose their testimonies, all of that kind of stuff. So it's a co-promise. We have to, and every time I heard Steve Harvey say something not too long ago, this goes back to your whole thing with Snoop, and he was talking about marriage is not 50-50. He said at best someday it's 85-15, and he was talking about, and the woman, now this man with all the money and done had plenty of women says this, and the woman usually gives the most. And he talked about how phenomenal women were, and he went on and on with this dissertation. And I said, that's one of the smartest men I know.
For real.
Now, Steve Harvey, we can't sit him in the boardroom.
No, we can't.
He may not be a rocket scientist, but he's one of the smartest men I know.
He really is.
Because he has discovered the value of a woman.
Yep.
And I'm telling you.
That's real good.
When men realize we were pulled from them.
Yes.
Now, if God is going to take something, if I go to make something, like I make clothes, I'm going to shop real conscientiously for fabric. I'm going to put a lot of care into it. Even I won't even touch making my daughter's prom dress because I don't think I still sew well enough. You see what I'm saying? I want to be very meticulous about it. So think about God when He's getting ready to design something, a help fit for Him. And so she needs to be honored.
Yes.
Her worth, the Bible said, it never said no man's worth was far above rubies.
It didn't say
I'm so
it.
sorry.
It didn't
The
say
king's
it.
mama was smart. And I'm not bashing men.
Not at all.
Because, hey, I love men. And I got one, and I've been had him 33 years. My thing is this. But we have to learn, we have to value it. Like they value us, we value them. Then that's the co-promise.
That's it. That's it.
I know he over there.
Yeah. But you know what? But then here's the thing about God. God's so cold. God calls a woman wisdom, or calls wisdom a she. Call wisdom a her.
Thank you.
And it says if you embrace her, she will add life to you in long days, longevity, and she will give. She will give you prosperity and peace and all of that.
Right.
He called wisdom a female. And we and we got to understand that and I'm not saying at all, people say, oh, he just handpicked or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying just doing everything. You don't have no voice. You don't have no opinion. You just doing everything to please. So I'm not saying that at all. And don't no woman want no man that don't no woman want a man that's a wimp.
Absolutely.
Just doing everything I say. I say jump, you say jump. I say run, you say run. Listen, I'm talking about my husband and I. We're having a conversation with this man that I was telling you about earlier, and he rides a motorcycle. And I said, ooh, the man does. I said, ooh. I said, my husband used to ride a motorcycle, right? And so he was like, I said, I just don't like them. I said, I've been on them, before. And just, I'm not concerned about the person that's on the bike. I'm concerned about all these cars that think they go get over and they paying attention. And then you in the blind spot and all that, then you dead. And so he was like, yes, Keith, man, you rode a motorcycle? I said, yeah. I said, he can't ride one again, right? My husband, he turns and he looks at me, he said, can't ride. I already knew. I'd have stepped over. I'd have stepped out of the boundary, out of my boundary. He just cut his eyes and he said, can't ride. I rephrased the whole thing.
That's my brother.
I said, I'm absolutely not telling you what you can and cannot do.
There you
go.
go.
I told the man, I said, I don't do that. Yeah. I said, I am saying that I would not like for him to ride it.
There you go.
That took on a whole nother, because he's not that man.
Right.
As good as he is to me, as kind and thoughtful he is to me, he is a man. And I know that I can't tell him what he can or cannot do. Because that could have went way left. I would have looked up and he would have been pulling up in my driveway in a Harley. Zoom, zoom. I'm looking out the window looking great. Because you're not going to tell Keith Atkinson what he can't do.
Right.
And so, just in a conversation, and I said that, and ain't thought nothing about it. And he said, he sighed at me, Gail. He was looking straight, he looked over, he said, can't ride?
I know
said,
how to do.
I changed the whole conversation.
Right.
And dude was standing there, he saw me.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, yeah. Because, see, I know.
Right.
That. And it is the way in which we approach men. If you got a real man, you can't be all up in their face and trying to yell and you shaking your head and spinning your finger. You ain't getting nothing from that man like that. Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
That is the wrong approach. Sweethearts, that is the wrong thing to do. You ought to buy me some flowers like my sister husband buys some. You ain't never getting a flower. You ain't even getting a dandelion out the grass in the summertime when they popping up on everywhere.
Right.
You not getting nothing.
Right.
You cannot to a real man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We as women, we are influencers.
Yes.
And we are supposed to use our influence
That's
on the man and not manipulation and control, because we see that too. I ain't talking about Jezebel.
Right.
I'm talking about Abigail.
Yes. Don't talk about
Yeah. I'm talking, those are the difference.
That's a queen. Yes.
Okay? Jezebel and Abigail.
Yes.
Two different women using their influence in two different ways.
You said something very key. When you talk about two Bible women, I was just saying today that part of the problem in the church world is people don't read.
They don't. Oh my God!
If you just
reading
read,
is essential.
It's essential. If, say for instance, if I want to really conform myself to the image that Christ likes, if I really want to be in that image that He likes, then I'm going to have to read what the image is.
Say it now.
And so, we just got
right
finished. We just got finished. You was with me the other week when I preached about Abigail. And Abigail was just, she wasn't trying to do nothing special. She was just being who she was.
Yes.
And being who she was caused her to end up being the queen.
Yes.
Now, what kind of woman is so tough that she saves her household, her husband, who is noted as a fool, saves him going back, keep living with that fool. She ain't looking for nothing in return. All she saved the household, the servants, everything, gave them resources, didn't miss nothing, all of that. Listen, and then it's so, as you could say, so cold. Or so phenomenal until the king, soon as the husband died, the king says the servant, go get her.
Go get her. Go get her.
And that's what we need. But
isn't that something? Nabal didn't recognize the queen that he had. She was a queen all the time, but she was married to a fool.
You want me to start singing Coming to America? She's the queen to me.
Queen to me. And
right.
And he was a fool. He didn't recognize what he had.
And that's something.
And sometimes we don't recognize what we have.
One man's
and
trash.
Something, it's another man's treasure.
Right.
One man saying scat cat, another man saying here kitty. Please don't get it twisted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes for man and or woman.
Yes.
And so and I tell single women this all the time. You overlooking a man that would be perfect for you because you get this picture in your mind that you want tall, dark, and wavy hair.
Yeah.
And here you got average looking Joe, average height, average weight, hard working, love God, treat his mama right, all of that. And you looking past him, he's just your friend. Yeah. That's somebody you're not attracted to. Yeah. And so you've been waiting on God and asking God to give you a spouse for the last 10 years, and you keep walking past.
Right.
You can't see the forest for the trees.
Right.
Because you got this, and I'm not saying people shouldn't have preference, but I'm saying if you're not 36, 24, 36.
Exactly.
Hello. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't rocking your real hair down your back, hello. I mean, all of these things. If your credit score is not 800, you know what I'm saying?
Why
you got 4 kids and
like
5 different baby daddies. You listen, and you want somebody to come that he doesn't have any children. I would prefer a widower. Hardworking man with a pension.
And your house nasty as what?
You know what I'm saying? We got to get out of that. And so a lot of times we walk right past who God has for us because we have this preference. Something that you all don't know, my current husband and I, we've been knowing each other since I was 16 years old. He was 21. He was 5 years older than me when we met, and he liked me and I liked him. But I was in love with the other dude that was tall, brown, hazel eyes. I thought the sun set when he went to bed and it came up when he got up in the morning. And Keith was nice to me. He was kind to me. I was nice to him. I was kind. I liked him. He liked me. We for sure liked each other. We got along just like we do now. We had fun together. We had great chemistry. All of that. He laughed at my jokes. I laughed at his quirky sense of humor. The whole nine. He was right in front of me. This fantastic man that was thoughtful and kind and courteous and all that was right in front of me at 16. But I couldn't see him because my preference was tall, brown, light eyes. And I missed this wonderful man to go with my preference. Right. And my preference tried to kill me 3 times within a 60-day period. Right.
And that was, and then your preference was based on your immaturity.
That too, because I wasn't 16.
When you're a kid, now I know I need to eat some vegetables, I need to have some fruit. I know what a balanced diet is. But at 20, maybe 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I could eat McDonald's every day. I don't care nothing about what's happening in my body. I don't care nothing about my system and all of this. So a lot of people are still, and it's not about chronological age, because I hear some people saying some stupid stuff. I got some friends that make some stupid statements about what they want in a husband, what they looking for, what they gonna do. Listen, I really want to put my hand around the neck of the next person who tries to over dramatize this marital relationship. You gonna wake up in the morning and lean over and kiss him, and your hair gonna be laying back on the pillow, and he gonna get up and he gonna be cut, and you gonna walk out of your bedroom into your bathroom. First of all, listen, don't even talk to me till you go brush your teeth.
Okay, let's start there.
And what is it? All of that and no character.
Yeah.
And that's we go back to the lady with the hair and all of this. Yeah. She probably got with that dude because he was all of the physical things. He the one she saw across the room at the club and all of this. And I had someone who would say this to me the other day, Roz. They were telling me about this guy. Yeah, I like him and everything. And they're really intellectual. They're a college graduate. And she said, he all right, but he can't talk. Honey, I went and started getting her reference. I started talking about, I have some friends have wonderful husbands, that they're not as articulate as the wife, but they are as supportive. They are sensitive. They are hardworking. They got money. They love God. You understand what I'm saying? We got to stop majoring on the minors. And then the other thing is love really there? Because love covers.
And love is long suffering.
Come on now.
The Bible says love suffers long
and it's kind.
I remember when the Spirit of the Lord said that to me. I was married to my first husband. It was, I could tell y'all the day. It was the Friday after Thanksgiving when we were supposed to be putting our Christmas lights out. And it was a snowstorm just like this. Now, mind you, I had been asking him since October. I came home. I'll never forget it. We had a beautiful day in October. And I came in and I said, this would be a good day to put the lights out. I said, so you won't get caught up in the weather. And of course, he didn't do that. And we know all week, Black Friday is the day we get the Christmas lights out and put the tree up. This has been a tradition for years of me putting up the tree. We were supposed to do it together, but of course, he never could. And he would bring the things downstairs so I could put them out and all of that. And he wouldn't even do that. The boys brought them down. And so it's time to put the stuff in the yard, and on the bushes, you had the bush, big old tree lights for the bush and all that. And he wouldn't help me do any of it. He wouldn't do none of it. And I was outside, y'all, in my yard, snow falling. It was snowing like it was. It wasn't as bad as it was last night, but it was definitely snow falling, and it was cold. In a mink coat, putting lights in the yard, putting the little reindeer and the little tree in the yard. And he was in a warm house, and tears are coming down my face, and they're freezing. And the Spirit of the Lord speaks to me and says, love suffers. He didn't say love suffers and is kind. He didn't say that. He simply said love suffers. And I boo-hooed, and nothing would stay down because they kept freezing on my face because it was so cold.
It's time for you to go
I went in the house. I looked like somebody had sprinkled me with flour.
It was time for the lights to be on the ground and you go in the house.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that's something how he gives us lessons.
Powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yes.
And so people don't have enough patience in a relationship, because God has an end for us all.
Right.
he has an end. You know, the song say trouble won't last always, because it won't. And God, when God says it's over, it's over.
Right.
But in that, God was doing some things in me, in my heart.
Right.
You know, it wasn't really, for real, it wasn't even about him. It was about me.
Yes.
It was about me adjusting. It was about me transitioning and transforming into the image of his son, and him trying to get, you know, all of this junk up out of me. For real. It was about me. And a lot of times we get out of the pot before he has finished cooking us. We jump up and we jump out because it's too hot.
Yes.
And then we get out of it and we find ourselves in the same situation, in the same predicament, and we don't learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn. And then we find ourselves get out of one relationship in another and having the same type of relationship.
Yes.
Because we don't see. Because we didn't learn the lesson. Now, in between, and I'm gonna talk about this in the Love Wife book. In between, when I got a divorce, I was a single woman.
Yes.
I ain't hard to look at. Hello.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I say it all the time. I ain't the prettiest peach on the tree, but I sure ain't the ugly.
That's right.
So I get attention.
That's right.
And so I went on a couple of dates and everything, and ran into somebody, began to date somebody that initially was nice and kind to me, but then I started seeing some stuff. And so the day that I called him Lil R, because my ex-husband's name began with the capital R, I called him Lil R. I said, oh no, you ain't gonna get me. Baby, that person has never seen me again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Because
Curse the fig
and
tree.
I could see it.
That's it.
But had I not learned my lesson, I may have gotten involved with somebody and perhaps even married the same type of person that I had before. Yeah. Because we don't get it. And we got to allow God's perfect will and work in us. Yes. Allow him to get stuff up out of us that's there so that we will not make the same mistake again.
We cannot. And then this is what we want you all to get to, is a lot of times you hear prophetess talk about her experiences, and God's will for her was to have that eclipsed by a subsequent marriage and a good marriage. But that may not be God's will for you. It may be God's will to perfect your character.
Absolutely.
To teach you some things, for you to endure in the marriage you're in, to come to fulfill the assignment, to let God perfect that which he started.
Yes.
And so the only way you can do that is to be in relationship with him. The only way you can do that is to trust him and let him take you through the paces.
Yes.
And stop trying to, always patting yourself after somebody else.
Please.
I listen. Sometimes my husband has Channel 19 on before he goes to sleep because he works at night, and it'll stay on after the news, and then the Young and the Restless come on. Well, years, 20, 30, 40 years ago, I used to watch Young and the Restless. They still doing the same thing. Some of the people that have been married, they done went around in a carousel. Mm-hmm. They're marrying the same people all over. Victor done married Nikki done married this one, this and that, and now the children is doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And we have got to stop as believers trying to pattern our lives after the culture. We are different. That's the whole reason that he established all those rules in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Mm-hmm. Because the ultimate is, if you're going to be a worshiper, you got to live by a different set of standards.
That's good. That's real good.
He pulled them out to teach them a whole different way of life. Yes. We cannot live. And the way of life is being led by him. He was leading them by the cloud and by the fire. And so we got to be led, the Bible says, now, according to the New Testament, by the Spirit of God. Right. And so that's why how you going to know if you're led? As I go back to, you got to read the word, you got to know the word. Yeah. And the word got to be in every part of your life. It's got to help you parent. It's got to help you stay married. It's got to help you be a friend.
Yes.
I'm telling you, we laugh and all of this, and nobody can beat me talking about Roz pushing me to do stuff. She always got me doing something crazy. I believe Roz really believes I can stand on my head. I'm telling y'all, if something come up, I believe she said, you can do it. Just lean upside that wall and do this kind of stuff. But here's the thing, what I have come to realize by reading the word, and what makes me stop and take a Selah moment when she says stuff to me, is because I realize the principle, according to the word, is iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
I realize that God has a call on my life that's going to take me from my comfort zone and from what is usual and customary.
Yes.
I realize that as a visionary, somebody must keep your eyes honed for vision. You know, like I go to the eye doctor. Don't nobody know these are trifocals, but me and the eye doctor. But as the vision changed, he had to adjust it. And it takes somebody who is trained to do that. Take somebody who is anointed. He's anointed, really, to do that. And so as God uses other people in your life, you got to recognize that.
Yeah.
And you only going to recognize it when you get to know how God works, and he shows you how he works through his word.
Yeah.
And you can only love by getting in the word and learning how love works.
Yep.
You can't learn by the harlequin and the romance.
You can't, because that'll mess you up every time.
Won't it mess you
and
up?
you can't even learn by somebody else's relationship.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you might have people in a relationship, a husband and a wife, that they play the dozens.
Right.
And then you have another husband and wife that you better not say nothing about my mama or daddy.
Right.
You say, you know, that's time to kill you now.
Right.
You know, those are two different people in two different relationships.
I got a good one for you. There's somebody that their husband and wife could say, girl, if you don't bring your fat self over here, let Roy Matthews say, bring your... He at home laughing.
Right.
Because he talks about the time that I had on a dress, and this dress started out real loose and real long. And as we kept dating, one day I was cooking it, and he said, that dress get a little short, ain't it? He swears, now I don't remember this, that I had a skillet with pork chops in it. He said, I turned around with the skillet, but that sounds dumb, don't it? But anyway, he said, and I told him, I don't care how big I get, I will not be talked about, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't believe, now y'all know how sweet I am, I wouldn't do that. But here's the bottom line. Listen, that is a deal breaker for me. You don't talk, I know I'm big, but you know, my finesse with it won't let you go that. You know, you got things that you can do.
Absolutely.
You can't tell him, he ain't riding no motorcycle. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. You ain't gonna ride no motorcycle. Honey, he would have had the top of the line.
Okay, would have been pulling up in the driveway on the Harley.
Exactly.
And
he done rode it to work. He done rode it to church. You going to church,
because
you're
not gonna tell him what he's not gonna do.
Exactly.
So you can't base your or try to mimic somebody else's relationship.
That's good.
You and that person have to sit down and formulate your own.
Good.
And you have to set boundaries around your own relationship. We're not gonna cross this boundary. I don't care how upset we are. I'm not gonna ever call you out your name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those types of things.
Yes.
I could be upset, but why am I calling you a sack full of names? Don't I
Yes.
still love you? I'm just mad about this situation right now.
Right now.
You know, and it's not a deal breaker. And then you need to discuss deal breakers.
Right.
People don't discuss deal breakers. Do you have one? If so, what are they?
Exactly.
You know, this right here will break the deal. Don't do that to me, because I would never do that to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we don't have these discussions. We go from looking at him across the room, you know, whether it's in the laundromat, at the bus stop, at the grocery store, or in church, and then next thing we know, we dating, and then 4 months later we married. I don't know nothing about you. I don't know nothing about your mama and them. I don't know that y'all got sugar diabetes, sickle cell, running your family, emotional distress, mental illness. I don't know you got out of jail 6 years ago from cutting a woman's throat. I don't know none of that, but I'm in love, y'all. I'm getting married. No. And then you meet these people on these dating sites, and next thing you know, they're your boyfriend, then they're your fiance, then they're your husband. All this to happen in a 6-week turnaround. And I'm not saying that God can't do that. That is the exception. That is not the rule. You better get to know these folks.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
single women, I want to say this to you. Don't be sitting up here tomorrow all upset. I ain't got nobody. I ain't what I want to do. Everybody just putting up their balloons and they teddy bears and I love Mookie and the bruh man love me and all of that. And you don't know that them people is closing them doors and they can't stand each other. He in one room watching TV, she in another. She going to dinner with her girlfriend, not with him.
Right.
And not because he at work, but because he don't want to take her. They just did this front for social media and y'all jealous of stuff that's facade. It ain't even real. This is here.
Yes.
It don't even be real.
Yes.
Y'all know people be buying their own flowers and taking pictures of flowers and put them on. Look what he bought me. He ain't bought you nothing.
Right.
That was your money. You got them flowers from Aldi's yourself.
Right.
Y'all, listen, we got to stop. Not even from the flower shop, but from Aldi's. And I ain't knocking Aldi's flowers because I buy them too because I love them. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying? We get all caught up because we don't have someone. I'm actually tomorrow spending my Valentine's Day. It's going to be some married couples there. Mm-hmm. My husband has to work. He volunteered to take the day off. And I said, babe, I need you to take the day off for April the 4th because my birthday is April the 10th. And he's going weekend. He's going to be off that weekend. But the 4th is concert that I want to go to and I want to go to with my man.
Right.
And he said, okay, babe, I take it off then.
Right.
Well, I'm going to an event with everybody at the table, with the exception of one person, is going to be single. Yeah. And I even invited a single man.
Okay.
That my husband had a chance to meet him the other day, and I had a couple people in my mind that I thought that he would be real nice for and everything. And so I asked my husband, I said, which one out of the couple people I mentioned? And he told me who he thought, but that wasn't the person that I actually thought. I said, well, if he comes, he sit at the table, we're going to see who he gravitates to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a nice single man, love God, and just got a really, really kind heart and all of that. And when he went through Keith's filter and passed, I knew he was all right because, you know,
real.
you ain't passing with Mr. Atkinson. And so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
I really am. And then on Saturday, my husband and I go spend some time together earlier that day. But my oldest son asked to take me to a mother and son a birthday party for one of his friends who is his mother's birthday, and he is throwing an extravaganza. He owns something in the flats and want me to go with him. And I said, I haven't been on a mother-son date with you since the 6th grade. So I said to my husband, he was looking, and I said, you know I won't go. You already know I won't. Right. I said, you know I won't go if you don't want me to. He was like, no, babe, you can go. That's said, so awesome. Sunday we gonna go and we gonna and why? Because Valentine's Day is special, but we in love every day. We doing kind things for each other.
Every day.
Every day. We going beyond. Why? Because time, listen, you got to love people, and you got to love people today. You know, yes. Our prayers go out to Kobe's wife, Vanessa. Yes, you know, she lost her husband. But she got memories of kindness and togetherness and love and thoughtfulness. She has those memories. If you love somebody, they need to know it. They don't need to be guessing about it. They don't need to be assuming it. You shouldn't let your mama stand in the way, your daddy, what your girlfriend said, what your kids think about it. If you love somebody, they need to know it, and they need to know it today.
Right.
I know that's a word for somebody. So you need to tell somebody that you love them and that you want to be in a relationship with them, and then keep everybody else out your mix. How about that? Right. So we want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. If you don't have a special someone in your life, treat yourself. Go buy you a meal. Go buy you a dress. Go buy you some shoes, girlfriend. Go get your feet done and your nails done and your hair done for you. Right. And the same with a guy. Go get a haircut. Go to the movies yourself. Go do something for yourself because you do love you. Amen. Amen. Thank y'all so very, very much for tuning in to today's God and Everything. We love you. We thank you. God bless you. Peace. Until next week.